So I would like to share about Kabbalah. I used to research Kabbalah a lot. This is all over the internet. This is me trying to write out from various places how to define these words. So Tohu is the divine light in weak, immature, unharmonized vessels where the shards of the broken had to fall into tikkun, order. They became splintered, innumerable fragments, each animated by nitzutzot, sparks of the original light. The more subtle divine sparks assimilated in higher realms of spirituality as their creative life force. The coarser fell into klipot, shells, nurtured on impurity realms. Olam hatohu, world of chaos. Olam hatikun, the world of rectification. The two archetypal states of consciousness or being are we can call worlds. Intellect first, sefirot, close enough to source, like the sefirot, I'll go into that, but it's the attributes, the spheres, the vessels almost. So the intellectuals are first, because the first sefirot, because they're close enough to the source to contain the abundance of vitality, and they're overflowing, subsequently breaking the emotional ones. That's called Shviras HaKelim, the breaking of the vessels. Except Malchus, which is partially intact as the exiled Shechina. It's like the bottom one. Feminine, divine immanence. Tzimtzum is the contraction, primordial self-withdrawal of the divine to make space for subsequent creation. And concentration, condensation, concealment. It corresponds with the female divine presence, like a vessel which the feminine receives the male light and inwardly nurtures to the birth of the lower sefirot. And contraction in order to push out as the condensed, concealed, concentrated light. Ein Sof means without end or no thing, absolute unity. The Or Ein Sof is the infinite light. Their emanating attributes emerge as the sefirot, and there's no independent existence despite veilings. Tzimtzum gives the vacuums. There's empty space. Kalal makom panoi, with reshima, impressions. Like water on an emptied vessel, drips. Drips like a residue. There's 4 spiritual divine realms. Wisdom, or emanation. As we said earlier, these are closer to the thing. The intellectual spheres are close to the source. They can attain the abundance of vitality. As they overflow, it breaks each vessel till it gets to Malchut. So, wisdom, Atzilus, emanation. Intellect is Bina, creation. Or Beria, sorry. So basically I'm saying Bina. What I meant is wisdom or Chachma. This is Atzilut, the world of Atzilut. That's emanation. And then you have intellect or Bina, the world of Beria, which is creation. And then you have emotions, or it's called Zer Anpin. And then it includes 7, Chesed, Gevura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, And those are like the next 7. Sorry, 6. These are like do in the middle, and then the lower triangle. So there's 2 triangles, like and where the 2 sides meet with the one in the middle is kind of like the balance point, but it's a unique state of not one, not the other, not both, not neither. And I would say it's like a middle that's like a superposition. In quantum studies, it's called superposition, when it's not one, not the other, not both, not neither. And so again, you have Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, and Netzach, Chod, Yesod, and it's also called Zeir Anpin. And this is the world of Yetzirah, formation. You might say emotion is like motion. And then we have the 4th one, which is Malchut, or the world of Asiya, action. And then, like, you have the mother, the father, like, Chachma is like father. And then you have, like, mother is Bina. And then you have son, is like the Zeir Anpin, those 6, the 2 triangles. Then you have Malchut, Nukva, which is like the daughter. And that's Asiya, which is action. And Kav is the thin diminished extension from the original light that's shown into the vacuums as a fountainhead for creation to follow. And at the center of the vacuum, it encompasses 10 concentric, discrete egolim, which are conceptual circles, like forming the sphirot of individual densities. Yosher, or it's pronounced in different ways sometimes, is the configuration where the sphirot are acting in harmony with each other. Yashar, sometimes it could be called Yashar, or yeah, that's the way I used to hear it, I believe. There are in a 3-column sequence, like upright. 1, 2, 3. Remember I said there's the 2 sides with the middle and the triangle, but there's also 2 above, the intellectual, like the Chachma and the Bina are like the 2 sides, and then so you have like 2 sides in the middle, and it's all upright. Tzimtzum, that contraction, birth kind of like condensation, allows infinite qualities to retire in Ein Sof. This is a perfection that encompasses both, and like the infinite light that possesses the concealed latent qualities, and potentially finite qualities to emerge. So Tzimtzum allows the infinite qualities to still be there and potentially finite qualities to emerge. And Tikkun, characterized by lower and less sublime light than Tohu, but in strong, mature, harmonized vessels, is the rectification that first initiated in Berudim, which is connected, the beginning of rectification, and Nikudim, which are points. These are unstable chaos. And then you have Akudim, which is bound. This is stable chaos. So rectification first initiated in Berudim, again, is the connected to, so I'll be going into this in a moment, but connected, beginning the rectification as stages. So the first stage is unstable chaos. Oh, sorry, there's the beginning of rectification. Anyway, there's points and bounds. So the rectification is first initiated in Berudim, which is the connected. and then points like, and that's when the Sfirot harmonize the 10 forces. So it's 10 Sfirot, by each included in the other as latent principles. This is completed in Atzilus after the Shvira, the breaking. Atzilus is the first realm. Through the Sfirot, configuring into Partsufim, which is like divine faces or configurations. The pure divine light intended for a human being is bounded by its future potential will to create vessels and by the limiting effects of the impressions. A non-corporeal, figurative configuration of impressions of primordial man that emanates 5 lights. And I'll stop here for today. The eyes, the nose, the ears, the mouth, and the forehead. They interact with each other. This is what a human being, we say the face, right? So the partsufim are like these faces. So these lights, everything is in the latent is inside. Everything is inside, even in a latent way. And these interact with each other to create 3 world stages to follow. Where each realm is a sequential stage with the first emerging of the Sfirot vessels prior to the first world. So each of the realms stages in the first world was in the first emergence of the Sephirotic vessels prior to the first world, which is Atzilus. So I'd like to say this as it's pre-intellectual, it's supra-intellectual. So it's a stage of chaos that, for example, our minds maybe during chaos do not do well. You could like lose your mind, break your mind. That's a good analogy. Just a small way of saying if the connection as a beginning stage of rectification versus unstable chaos or stable chaos, which is nikudim or akudim. Each realm, whether it's unstable chaos, stable chaos, our unpredictability, reactivity, and you could say it's too volatile. And so rectification stages have to occur with berudim, which is the harmony. Mature, strong vessels, which include the latent principles. They don't need to have the tension of having it so much on the outside, othering. May we all experience witnessing it for ourselves and collectively as well.